Hi friend, David here from Learn Stage Lighting, and today I want to take a little bit different of a look at video lighting, and that is I want to walk through really some basic tips for setting up video lighting for a video shoot. Okay, so this is not on a stage, not with stage lighting, and the reason for this is twofold. Number one, first of all, people keep asking me, hey, if I'm lighting a video, kind of doing like a video lighting setup, studio type setup, how do I light it to make it look good? Okay, how do I make things look good? Because this isn't like something where we're using DMX lights, we're not using Pars and Fresnels and Licos. Instead, we've got, these video lights we bought off of Amazon. And then GVM, who is a brand that makes these lights, reached out and they said, hey, could we collaborate on a video? You can choose the topic, just use our lights. And I said, sure. So that's what we're doing here. So I got this package in the mail just the other day from GVM with 3 of their full color lights in it. And so in this video, I'm going to go ahead and set these lights up for my basic studio space. Show you how they work and show you some tips on how to use them. Up until this point, pretty much all I've done is pulled them out of the cardboard box. They come in a actually pretty nice case here. You can see it's a soft-ish case. It's got some structure in it. It's got zippers and it's got 2 sides. One side has the lights, the other side has the accessories in it. And so I want to just pull these out, shoot it, and show it to you. So I've got this on 2 angles. I've got a wider angle from my phone camera over there. And we're just going to pop this open real quick, pull these lights out, and set them up. So these lights they sent me, I looked on Amazon ahead of time. They actually come in a nice little bag. I could use that for an analog audio snake head or just for these lights. And they are a panel type light, okay? So they have some barn doors on them. We'll talk about using those in a minute. They have a diffusion card apparently that you can place in and out. And then they have a bunch of LEDs. Now, the cool thing about these ones is they are a full color unit. So they have cool and warm white, and I can actually see that on the board. And they also have RGB, all right? Barn doors right there. So we've got 3 of these, I believe, in the kit. So open these up, and then we're going to set this up. And so, the other thing about these, and I haven't tested this at all, is they apparently have app control. And so we're going to go ahead and download the app. I was going to use my phone, but because I'm shooting a wider angle there, I'll grab my tablet. Two lights on that side, divider. On my other side, we have stands. We'll make use of these. Stands have stand bags as well. We have light number 3, also in a not quite Crown Royal bag. Keep them nice. It looks like these ones have a battery. Usually it's the Sony video battery that you can put in lights like these. And then they also have an AC inlet, which is what's provided. And then we got a box, and the box has AC cords. Looks like, this is nice. A lot of times you buy lights like this, and I've bought lights like this before. I actually currently, my main white front light that's hitting you is actually a GVM light. It's like a 50-watt white light with an umbrella on it. But these cords, they've got some good length to them, which is good because I don't have outlets everywhere. And, you got to be able to reach the light. And so this is obviously, it's got both sides. I don't think it's going to make it quite to the ground. I think the power brick's going to be in the air, but you could always use a piece of tie line, a bungee, a zip tie, whatever, to attach it to the stand. Okay, so let's talk about lighting. So I've got the cords, I've got all the stuff here. How do we light for video? Well, the first thing we do is unplug my light here. Maybe we'll do that once we get a stand up. So when we're talking about video light, the first light we want to bring up and the first light we want to work with is what we call the key light. Okay, this is the light that's in front of me here. If I get close to the camera, it gets very bright. As I get further from the light, it's actually not that I'm getting closer to the camera that makes it bright, it's the fact that I'm getting closer to the light that makes it bright. And I feel like my camera might be auto-exposing, which is not what I wanted. But alas, I will leave it as it is. So, we've got a stand for key light. Where do you put the key light in video lighting? Good question. In stage lighting, a lot of times, we do 2 lights out at a 45-degree angle and about 45 up. And that's for a couple purposes. 1, it looks pretty good. 2, it is where we can practically put lights to keep them out of the way of the audience. And 3, it's kind of the best of both worlds, okay? There's a little piece of foam under these lights as packaging, and then we'll pop them up here. The key light is best. A lot of times, it's honestly just eye level, straight on. If your backdrop is, I'm gonna go fix this. That's better, got my exposure back, and so in the right place, because you don't want to shoot an auto exposure. So these lights, like I was saying, key light, is often literally straight onto the subject, and then compared to the camera, because the camera is going to be the eye, we generally come a couple degrees off in one way or another. What that does, as you can see from this light I have here, is it gives kind of a shadow side of the face, so you can still see on my face I'm lit. You can see my emotions, etc. We'll demonstrate in a minute. But it gives you just that little bit of darkness, of contrast, right? If the light gets up too high, like mine is up a little, it's not straight on, just so I can walk under it, it's hung from the ceiling. You see where it starts to shadow under the eyes and neck, so be careful about getting too high. So I'm gonna plug this first light in, go ahead and find a power cord, plug this in, and let's talk about key light. All right, so I've just plugged this unit in, it looks like it's got a 3-way power switch with off, where it's at now, battery and power adapter. Turn it on. Now we've got, it looks like, a brightness and a saturation. And it says right now it's in app mode. I'm going to pull it out of that for now. So I hit mode, it pulled me right out of app mode. Again, I haven't looked at the manual at all, I'm just figuring this out. And then you can set the white level. So I'm just going to go, I think I'm at 5600K with this light, so that's where I'm white balanced on my camera. And then I have a intensity level, okay. Let's just crank that up till we're blind. And then it looks like we're in CCT mode. See if we can figure out how to get into color. Oh, here, I actually click in on the encoder here for the brightness. And so then I get hue, saturation, and brightness is of course the other dial. So I'm gonna leave this one in white. We're gonna put it at 5600K, leave it right there, and we're gonna make this our front light. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn off my other front light. And what we're going to do here, we're going to notice 2 things, okay? 1, I got to lower the brightness a little. That's okay. See, that looks a little better on the camera. I'm not looking at a histogram. But then the other thing we see is that, okay, maybe I get this about here, and then I step back to where I would be in the shot. The exposure looks about right to me, but I'm getting a shadow all over the wall. So that's where going a little higher, pointing down, is going to help that shadow go away, and also pointing some light at that wall is going to help. So now I've hit the point vertically where I'm smacking into my other light, so we're just going to leave it there. But another great way, give it a little more brightness. Another great way to spice up some video is to light the texture in the room and maybe get some backlight on the presenter. So here in my office, this is my studio, you've seen it in videos. I don't necessarily have a space right now in the shot where I could get a backlight, but I could come from the side over here and keep a light out of view of the camera. So let's light the backdrop and then we'll light me from the side. So again, I'm just gonna grab one of these guys. I think for this, I'm literally just gonna set it down on the counter and give it some color. Same process, turn it on. Now we're going to bring up the brightness and set a color that looks nice. So I like, you guys know, I do a lot of blues here. David likes blue. So now we've got a nice purpley blue. I think I'm going to try pulling the diffuser out of it. Right now the yoke knob is in the way. Oh, and then we drop power. Comes right back onto where it was though. And we're just literally just setting that on the ground right there, but it's cycling through modes. That's not gonna work. Oh, there's scenes built in. Or like, let me get it out of that mode. So does this guy even know what he's doing? Not really. There we go. We got it out of scene mode by holding that encoder. So maybe we should use it with the stand. That would probably be beneficial. But for now, we're just going to take this. We're literally just going to hide it right back here. Squeaky. Try to set it down and not interrupt those too much. So you can see, gives a nice pop of light even behind this case here, which is kind of a mess, and gives us just a little more depth to our video. If I could get that all the way on the ground, it would even out that hot spot a little and I could turn it up a little bit. But again, looks pretty decent. So now let's add a little more color to me. So I could go also with this light, I'd go put it on the texture over there. I'm gonna pop in and just add in a little bit of a side light now. And to do that, let's turn on a tablet and also get the app. So I'll do that and I'll be right back. All right, so I go to download the app. I've got GVM LED, I've got GVM Easily, and GVM Slider. GVM Slider has, that's for a camera slider. GVM Easily has the most downloads, so we're gonna go with that one. And then this would ideally be out of shot. It's in app mode. And so once this app downloads, we'll hopefully get control of this light, stick it slightly outside of the frame if we can, and then be able to just add a little extra pop of color / backlight to me. All right, so I'm just opening the app. It is downloaded. And now let's go ahead. It's called, it loaded, and now it says connecting. And so I'm going to say, let's see here. I'm not sure how these are working, if they're Bluetooth or what they are. So here I'm going to look on the Wi-Fi quick, see if there are any Wi-Fi networks. Or else I'm going to pull out the manual. All right, so Bluetooth, BT LED showed up. It says an app is needed to use the device. So now that my Bluetooth's on, I will go to the GVM Easily app. And da, 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 da. We'll see what happens. It says connecting at the top. Open, there's a channel on the side. Okay, so on the channel there's a side, so that's good because you can have multiple lights at once, I think. So I've gone to channel 6 now, because that's what the back of my light says. And connecting, connecting, connecting. Maybe it'll work. Maybe not. All right, so right now the manual's telling me to connect to the Bluetooth device. And then the tablet says an app is needed to connect to the device. Only grab my phone, and if it doesn't work, we'll just skip it. So now I've got my phone. I installed the app on here the other day. Hadn't used it at all. So we'll go ahead. I'm in the app, turn to channel 6, and I believe I'm supposed to actually connect the phone's Bluetooth to the device. Like just as another example, you know, there's the City Theatrical DMX Cat in the Stage Lighting World that I use. Great device. And it has you not connect your phone to the Bluetooth. It does that within the app. So I'm trying here to connect. It's not pairing. We're going to give up here in a second. It's not connecting, that's okay. So I want to add in just a little bit of side light as I continue to knock down the light back here and put it into all sorts of different modes, because you should put it on a more secure stand than I have. I'm just going to go ahead, dial this guy in. So crank it up. And I'm going to go with some sort of color. So let's just start with like a really warm amber to offset the blue. Okay, and then if I can get it out of the shot, it's kind of out of the shot. We can cheat there. We can show you how that makes a pretty cool little side light. Now, that there is a little much. But say, for example, just take it and motivate it a little. Point it so it's hidden there. It blends cool on my wall. I'm seeing a little light here. I'm just going to turn it down a little more. You don't need a lot, just a little bit. And there you go. Adds a little pop, adds a little extra definition, a little bit of extra color, and hopefully will make your next video production look better. So if you enjoyed this video, give this a thumbs up. I'll link to the lights down below that GVM sent me. Thanks, GVM, for sending this to me, though the opinions are all my own. And if you are first starting out with lighting, hop over to learnstagelighting.com, grab my free guide to begin with stage lighting. It's going to be personalized to the type of lighting you do, and we'll see you guys in our next video. Thanks.